Aloha, my kako. This is Oracle of the Golden Spiral. This is going to be a reading for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Today I'm going to be working with the Vice Versa Tarot. And so the way that I work with this tarot is a little different than any other tarot. So I apologize. It will be upside down. From your viewpoint, it will be upside down. I try to turn the cards around in like the other readings that I do, but I tried to do that earlier with this and it just wasn't flowing. So, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. What are the messages for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please? One more shuffle. My readings have no dates, therefore, when they find you, that's when the message is yours. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Sagittarius, please. Okay. Sagittarius, in the past, you definitely had a strong sense of who you were. You were, moving through the world and winning all kinds of, winning and overcoming all kinds of battles and obstacles. I think that you found great success in many places. You may not see that success like other people did. And certain experiences that were that felt like options lost, opportunities which didn't pan out. Other people may not see those but while you were showing up in the world as the Queen of Wands, internally, there was the beginnings of depression and despair. You may have been showing up as vivacious and helpful and ready to take on anything, probably taking care of what others needed, while internally you were starving your own you weren't putting anything in your bucket. I would love to know what this is. How this relates right now. Can I get... Oh, this is the first time I'm doing this in this set of readings. You're searching. You're searching for something. Why doesn't the outside match the inside? Again, still. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, got it. There's one thing more that you want than anything else. And that is, this has to do with a partnership reading now as we move into this section. I think how you're showing up in the world as the Queen of Wands may have had to do with maybe you're taking care of, like, you know, extended family and how you related to your siblings and your parents and your friends. Maybe any work colleagues, you know, any whatever business you belong to, that was all Queen of Pentacles, while inside there was a lot of strife. Here, what I see is that I don't always read these cards as a progression, but yours is tremendously a progression. And now I understand why this is here. Okay, so you want more than anything else to be in a partnership, something that you see it as something that should grant eternal sunshine, that should, you know, have growth and beauty and stability. There's a certain idyllic factor to relationship that you had in the past, and just as the pendulum swings, the more that you, whatever it was that caused your Four of Cups, put you in a space where we're reassessing what our beliefs on devotion and relationship and partnership really mean. And what we've come to is that the pendulum has swung the other way, and there's very little faith in this any longer, and more to do with the darker side of relationship. And I think we're replacing the idealistic nature and vision that we had for a relationship with the complete opposite of its torture and pain. And I think, Sagittarius, what I'm here to discuss with you today is that neither of these two extremes are correct. There are going to be portions and of every relationship. Every relationship is going to have hopefully mostly this and some of this, but it's about going ahead and realizing that, and for both people to, despite whatever happens, I mean, some people go through some, what do they say? Everyone's fighting a battle that you know nothing about, right? And so when both partners are trying to get to this side, it's never going to be this exactly, but when both partners are trying to go ahead and keep the pendulum more to this side, the chances of that are going to be great. When we get out of balance and we get, and both people are not actively working towards that, we end up a little bit closer to this side. And I think that whatever this last experience was for you, you ended up, this is where we are. This is what we think relationships are about now. But if it hasn't ended, I hope it does, because this is not the right dynamic to be. This is far too unbalanced to bring over closer to this side if what we now believe is that this is what relationships are. This is the dynamic of relationships. And so now, the Page of Wands, what that tells me is that we are looking for a way to get back to that excited feeling about life again. But if relationship was so important to you in the past, and now we believe this, how do we get that fire back, right? Okay, let's get a little bit more. Right. So what I'm getting is that you worked very hard to accomplish this sun feeling. And every time that you try to, I don't know why I'm rehashing this with you right now, but I guess that's important for this experience right now. So the 9 of Swords, every time you try to get to a place of 4 of Wands, I think we expected it to look a certain way, and that is never what happened because it wasn't enough. What we were being offered wasn't enough. And so that's when we end up with these haunting figures and these memories, right? But it's important for me to let you know that this is not the way that you're not going to be let me put it simply, it's not a reflection on you. I think there's a weight bearing on you that, like, I couldn't make this happen, and so either it's all like this or I'm like this or whatever. But I mean, the judgment tells me that you're concerned about whether you are good enough or whether or how it's going to be looked upon. And sometimes we want to throw it away, but it means so much that, you know, we grapple with this. You're grappling with this concept right here that you weren't good enough to make it happen. You didn't do enough to make it happen, but that's not true at all. What was coming from the other side was not enough. It takes 2 people. I said earlier, it takes 2 people to swing the pendulum to this beautiful type of relationship and experience in a relationship. How do we get Sagittarius's fire back? The self-judgment, that's definitely how we start. Let's find out where we're going. Where are we going, Sagittarius? Okay. Okay. This makes me feel a lot better. You are going to be able to balance those emotions. I heard someone say the King of Cups sits in choppy waters, but he's above that, and he sits there confident and bold and strong. It's really about knowing, calming those emotions within you when we start thinking the worst, like with the devil and the judgment, when we start imagining that we're not good enough, getting rid of that self-talk, knowing that you are a beautiful person with with tremendous love and passion, to have wanted that, to believe that the Sun and the Four of Wands, that experience was what relationship was about. You have so much within you, and it really speaks to that love that you carry inside of yourself, and all of that. So being discerning about who we share that with, being discerning about, you know, what that truly means. So P.S. you're good enough. Yes, definitely more than good enough. And I think that you are going to find some type of creative spark that helps you on your journey, but really to build a comfortable and like make everything that you wanted. I know people really don't like when we talk about, you know, self-love and really taking that time to grow and to build for yourself. I know I have a really hard time grappling with that, but it's speaking through you folks today to me about really taking that and using that emotional investment, creating everything that you know who you can create the Sun and the Four of Wands with, and not have to worry about whether it's going to be successful or not. You. This is it right here. Taking that and applying it and creating a space for yourself, your garden, right? That where you have abundance and peace and prosperity. And I feel like I'm repeating myself, but that's when, you know, another person of that caliber will come in, and that's when we have the Two of Cups, and that's when they match our cup. But find the opportunity. I think Spirit is asking you, Universe is asking you to find that passion. What makes you excited? What find something that you can develop for yourself, pouring all of that love and clarity and growth and vibrancy, that celebratory and stable place that you want to get to. Find something to pour that into yourself so that you look back and you're like, wow, I did that. I have I don't know, went back to school and got my CPA, like, I don't know, business management, or law degree, or, you know, maybe create a side business for yourself where you do things that really speak to you. Maybe it's just about, you know, in your community, finding a project that you want to do. Or maybe it's simply just about redecorating your apartment or house and making it a comfortable space for you to do the things that you want to do. I have a friend who, she does not have my living room has a couch and a coffee table and a side table with a lamp and I have a princess seat, clearly, because everybody needs a princess seat in their living room. And the moon phases in a painting on my wall. But, you know, that's my space. My friend, I have a friend who her living room, she envisioned it just being weights. She doesn't like it when people come over to her house. She wants to go ahead and to, you know, have a more healthy experience. She made a living room of weights. That is tremendous. That is her that is her happiness and her goal. For me, like, I don't know about you, but exercise is not on my list of exciting things to do. Yeah, no, almost never, like, as in nearly never. But, you know, to each his own. So create a community that you build and feel supported by. Redo your living space to reflect who you are. Take up a hobby. I don't know. I think one of the greatest things that ever happened to my grandma was Tai Chi. So, like, it's really about pouring that, creating those Sun 4 of One experiences in your life. And when you do that, like I said, that person, not the devil side, but the person that wants to work with you to maintain that feeling you have, but to bring that into a, interpersonal romantic relationship, that's the person. They're going to see that standard. That's the standard. And only the people that are going to meet that standard will come towards you. And if others sneak in, that's a standard that you're going to hold them to. And you'll have a partner that will help you swing that pendulum back to no perfect relationships, right? If you want to do it right, you gotta do it yourself. But engaging in that partnership, having someone that you hold to that level will help swing the pendulum more towards the Sun 4 of Wands experience. Okay, Sagittarius, I wish you all the best, and thank you so much. I really enjoyed this time with you. Mahalo.